beautiful. In this podcast episode, I talk all about the higher self. Now, 3 questions that I will answer today are: who is your higher self? The second question is, why should I even bother connecting with my higher self? And then I will share and give 3 ways that you can begin to really reconnect with your higher self and deepen that relationship with her. It has been a journey for me to really rediscover my higher self and align myself to her. But I actually created a 10-week self-love program where we will dive into awakening your higher self. And we do this in one of the modules. And if this interests you, please go ahead and message me on Instagram at blissfully.bloom, and I can go ahead and send you an information packet, or we can get you set up on a free 30-minute discovery call. Before we dive into this episode, let's go ahead and listen to this sponsor. Before we dive into this episode, I wanted to shine a spotlight on a platform that has made my podcast dreams come true. And that is Anchor by Spotify. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here are some of its features. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So if you feel called to make a podcast, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's the Anchor app or anchor.fm to get started. Are you looking to blossom your love from within and be your own best friend, quiet the voice of your inner critic, and really step into your self-love future vision? Well, I have just created a 10-week self-love program that was made for you called Blossom from Within. I have come so far in my self-love journey. I started out as my own worst enemy, my own bully, and I really didn't like being me. But now I can proudly say that I absolutely adore the person that I am. The love that was just waiting to bloom within me has now started to be a garden from within. And I just feel like a whole new different woman, a woman who accepts herself and shows her authenticity to the world. And if this is what you want, if you want to really embrace who you are completely and fully, I can definitely help you do that. And I can absolutely help you transform and grow that love from within. I will be that support system for you. I will guide you along the way. Just know that you are not alone. And so for this program, I have created a community around it. When you say yes, you will also gain access to a Facebook self-love community group where all of the women involved in the program will be there to support you too. You can choose to have one-on-one coaching sessions with me, or you don't have to invest in the coaching. You can just buy the program itself. But I can promise you that the investment in coaching with me will be worth it, because you will see the transformation more quickly, and when I am there to support you and coach you. If this interests you, please go ahead and DM me the word self-love on my Instagram at blissfully.bloom. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Tori, your host, and this podcast was created to inspire women to transform their mindset, blossom from within, and be unafraid to be their authentic selves. Get ready to grow, evolve, and bloom. All right, so I am so excited for this episode. You may have heard the term higher self, and it may confuse you a little bit. You don't really know exactly how to align yourself with her, or even know exactly how to experience her highest frequencies. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So, the very first question that we're going to dive into is, who is your higher self? Your higher self is your true self, down to your core. She is all light, all love, and really, she is the essence of your soul. It is who you truly are. And that is, I feel like, the reason why we're all here on this earth is to come back to our true form, our loving forms, which is our higher self. If you go on dictionary.com, you will see, whatever word that you're researching and wanting to know more about. They usually have adjectives and nouns, and they also have synonyms. Oh my gosh, that is just like a tongue twister for me. And antonyms, so the opposite and words that are the same or alike. Now, for your higher self, you can think of your higher self's opposite as your ego. That is known as your lower self. Now, your higher self is actually also known as your soul, and then your ego is your lower self. Your ego is there to protect you. And sometimes it may not feel like it because it's fear taking over the front seat. It's you holding yourself back from your dreams and goals because your ego is screaming in your head that you may not be good enough and people are going to judge you. And, let's not take up all this space. Let's keep ourselves small to protect ourselves. But your higher self, on the other hand, is the voice in your head that uplifts you, that raises your frequency and vibration to a state that almost as if your limiting beliefs and doubts and judgments are all washed away and you are just left with what is. And that is just the most beautiful thing about really allowing yourself to connect with her, because you see a whole different version of yourself that you have just been waiting to step into more light in your life, to step into more love and compassion and joy, because you deserve all of those things. Because for so long, you may have been blocking yourself from those things, from the very things that you desire, from the very things that you deserve and that you were born to have in your life. You were born to have abundance, freedom, love, joy, compassion, all of it. But with life comes darker emotions. That is just a matter of fact of life. But the thing is, you may be suppressing all of the emotions. If you tend to be the one that hides what you're truly feeling, or if you're the one to block and ignore your feelings, and that may be the ones that may be darker, like shame or guilt or sadness or anger, then you're also choosing to allow yourself to repress love, light, forgiveness, compassion. And you're also blocking your higher self. Let me say that again. If you choose to allow yourself to block the darker emotions, you're also therefore blocking the more lighter emotions, which is blocking the light of your higher self. Imagine your ego as that sneaky fox in the background who tries to convince you to stay small. And if you have been living a life that is not expansive, you may be staying in your comfort zone, you may be keeping it safe, that is the result of staying in an ego mindset. The result of staying in a higher self mindset is expansion, is growth, is stepping into your future ideal self and actually taking those steps to get to the desired result that you want for your life. And your higher self cheers you on. She is your cheerleader. She wants to see you succeed. She wants to see you love yourself. She wants to see you deepen your relationship with yourself and others. She wants the best for you. Your ego, on the other hand, may be trying to protect you, but it kind of backfires in a way because, yeah, we may be protected from potentially being judged or potentially being a victim or potentially getting hurt or feeling pain. We also just stay stuck in where we are. You were born for greater things. You are a leader. You are an artist. You are creative. You are love. And we hold so much power, and we are doing a disservice if we do not reclaim our power, and our higher selves guide us to reclaim our power. Before we move on to the benefits and the reason why you should start to align yourself with your higher self, I'm going to share a little bit of my experience whenever I actually met my higher self. And I knew it was her because of the lightness in my body. All of my depressive symptoms that I felt, all of my anxiety symptoms that I felt were like washed away in that moment. When I was in it, I was just allowing myself to surrender to the highest frequency of her, of my higher self. Now, it's important to note too that your higher self is you. Your inner core, our divine soul essence within us all. And it's not like she goes away or anything. It's just we block or ignore her. And I'm going to tell you a little story here. I actually was in this visualization of my future self whenever I was first starting my coaching training. And it was just a beautiful scene. And my coach, the founder of One Mind Academy, she was guiding me through this visualization and inviting me to really call in my future self and bringing in all of my emotions, all of these senses together. And what I saw was something that I didn't even see for myself then, and I didn't even think was possible. I saw just glimpses of moments of my life. I didn't even think that I even desired them, but here I was in my future self visualization, and those things were in it. They were podcasting, they were hosting retreats, they were speaking at events, they were writing books, they were becoming a coach, a yoga instructor. All of the dreams and desires that I have for my life, they were there. And some of the things that I fear most, I get scared even talking about it because it triggers me to feel so much fear within me, such as speaking. And here I was, allowing myself to dream and dream big, and my higher self was there with me. I saw her riding in a field of flowers on a horse. She looked exactly like me, but with roses or flower headband, but they were made out of real flowers. And she had really long hair, and she just looked so alive, so divine, so in tune with her purpose. And I was just in awe of her, and I wanted to be her. I wanted to embody her and become her. And it's funny enough because I actually had a scary experience with horses, and I never thought that I would ever want to be near them again. But after that visualization, I became super drawn to them. And I wanted to ride horses again. And so I actually did in my Zion trip. And I got back on the saddle again, even after a really scary experience. By the way, the horse just decided to run back to the stable on my scary experience. So I suggest to really set yourself down and allow yourself to visualize what you want for your life. It doesn't matter if you think that it's possible or not. Go big or go home. Really allow yourself to expand the possibilities and tap into who you are at your core. Don't allow the fear of judgment, the fear of what other people are going to think, or insecurities to pop up. Let go of your attachments to those things and be surprised with what you visualize. Now, and I probably will do a future self-visualization as a podcast episode. That might be coming up, so stay tuned for that one. Now, why exactly should you begin to align yourself with your higher self? It actually diminishes your anxiety levels and depression levels, because your higher self is all love, the highest state of love, the highest level of love, of happiness, of joy. Fear does not live in your higher self. So yeah, anxiety, of course. Of course it's going to diminish your anxiety levels, because your anxiety is fear. It's worry. And fear and worry do not live within your higher self. You will become more creative, more inspired. You will begin to tap more into your intuition and really be guided by your heart instead of your mind. You will have more patience. And most importantly of all, you will start to cultivate unconditional love for yourself and others. And this is why I included a module specifically around awakening your higher self in my self-love program. Because I believe in my program that it's not all about mindset. Mindset isn't everything. Spirituality and diving into the spiritual side of things is what transforms as well, and we can't leave that out. So, now that you've heard the benefits, are you convinced? I hope this convinces you to really begin to tap into her. And we are about to dive into the 3 tips that I have that can allow you to do just that. Because it's one thing talking about your higher self, stating the differences between what your ego is and what your higher self is. But if you can't allow yourself to experience what it is to be embodied by her, then there's no point in it all. Because she's just going to be in the dark. You're not going to allow her to step out of the shadows and be seen. How exactly can we begin to align ourselves with our higher self? One way that you can do this is through energy clearing, really allowing yourself to clear away all of the energy that just isn't serving you anymore and that may be potentially blocking the vibes, the frequency, and the energy of your higher self. Now, one way that you can actually put this into practice is by using sage. Now, a couple of tips with this is to make sure that you have a window open so that all of the energy that is being cleared away can actually find a way out of your environment, of your living space. So I actually like to use sage leaves, but there are probably plenty of other options that you can choose from. Now you are going to use a lighter to light your sage and let it burn for about 20 seconds and then gently blow it out so that you can be able to see the orange embers on the end burning. And smoke should begin to produce. And then you are ready to start your energy clearing process. What I like to do is have an intention in mind of what I want to release, what I feel like I need to let go of, and then I start from the top of my head and I hold the sage in my hand and circle around my head and make my way down around my arms. And if you want, you can have a mantra to say aloud or in your mind, like, I release the energy that no longer serves me. I am letting go of the need to be right, or I am letting go of my insecurities, or I am letting go of the fear of being judged. Whatever that you feel resonates with you in that moment and that you feel needs to be let go and released so that your higher self can begin to bloom and blossom from within you. And, work your way through your hands and your arms, and then kind of go around your torso area and all the way down to your feet. So really make sure that you're getting all parts of your body and envisioning that the smoke is clearing away any blockages, any limitations that you're holding on to, any really just dark energy that may be taking up space within you. And also, just for safety precautions, just make sure that if you have long hair, wear your hair in a bun and keep the sage a safe distance from your body so that you don't potentially burn yourself. And yeah, just be very mindful whenever you are saging yourself. Make sure that you're being very aware and mindful just for safety precautions. And also, I would like to note that you shouldn't really inhale large amounts of smoke, so just be mindful of that as well. When you feel like this energy clearing ritual is complete, then make sure you extinguish your sage once you finish the ritual. I hope that this practice really embodies you with more light, more love, more compassion. Now, the second way that you can align yourself with your higher self is to dance. And I mean, yes, dancing and grooving to your favorite tunes. When we allow our bodies to move and we are aware and in tune with our own bodies, we allow ourselves to not be detached from our bodies and instead be within them and allow ourselves to feel what's going on and to raise our vibrations, to raise our energy levels. And this is a very beautiful thing, because if you are detached, if you are all in your mind all day long and you're working from your headspace and ignoring everything else, then you are also detaching yourself from your higher self. So when you begin to dance and groove and move your body in a way that is fluid, in a way that is feminine and flowy and just you, it's an expression of you. You begin to reconnect with who you are down to your core, reconnect to your body, to your soul. Also, match the frequency of your higher self. Remember that saying, like attracts like? Well, if you are dancing and grooving and feeling so good and feeling so alive, well, you're also inviting in your higher self, which is such a beautiful thing. And it's so fun too. I mean, who doesn't love to create more fun moments in their life? We're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to express ourselves. And this is an opportunity for you to do just that. So I invite you to dance today. Go on Spotify, your iTunes songs, if you still listen to iTunes, and play your favorite songs and just dance. It doesn't have to be very structured. It doesn't have to have steps. Just allow your body to move in a way that it wants to. Get out of your own head and be in the moment. Be in your body. Be in your soul. And invite your higher self in to guide you. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Your higher self wants to dance with you. So dance the night away, my friend. All right. So the very last thing that you can do to start to reconnect yourself with your higher self is through journaling. Journaling is such an amazing way to tap into the messages of your higher self. Because here's the thing, there are many different forms of journaling practices, but the one that I'm talking about right now is stream of consciousness. This is a journaling practice where you have a journal and a pencil and your thoughts, and that is it. All you do is you begin writing on the page. You write, and you write. You don't worry about mistakes or grammar or what the sentence structures looks like. All you do is you continue to write. And as you do this, the longer that you allow yourself to be in the state of mind, you also tap into a meditative state. And what this does is the beginning of the pages you may have been writing from your ego, and the words and the messages may not have been through love and out of love, but as you begin to write, your higher self is going to call herself through you. You will notice a difference in the messages. Her messages will be filled with love, with compassion, with all light. And I really do suggest when you do this practice to make it as relaxing as possible. So maybe light some candles around your journaling station, or again, you can sage yourself before this practice. Or you can also begin to listen to relaxing tunes and really set the mood for your journaling. Another important tip for this is to try not to stop writing, because once you stop writing, you stop the flow. And the flow is where the higher self is. She is this creative flow. And you will be surprised by what messages channel through you. It's like surrendering to all of the limitations, surrendering to the thoughts in your mind, and really allowing yourself to be the witness. Stepping out of that role and stepping into the role of your higher self. I would love to know, if you already do this practice, what messages come through for you whenever you are writing in this way. And I also recommend that you try this. If this is something that you've never done before, give it a go. It doesn't hurt to try, right? And let me know in the comments your experience. I would love to know your experience, and I hope this supports you in feeling more love, more light, more compassion, and inviting in the true essence and the divine soul of who you already are. This concludes the episode for today. I think I will have another Higher Self podcast episode. If you would like to know more about channeling your higher self, then leave me a message on my Instagram and request a podcast episode. I absolutely love requests. I would love to know what you want to hear on the show, but thank y'all so much for the support. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye. Thank y'all so much for listening. I am just so blessed and grateful for y'all's support. And if you haven't gotten the chance, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends and family. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Blissfully Bloom. It's all about self-growth, self-love, and self-healing. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye!